Chill out. What goes up must come down. It's something that I found.
This is Sundarajan Mutialu, also known as Son of Xcorps TV, and this is our Best Behavior series. And I'm speaking today with Ramon Garcia, and I am amazingly excited about this.
So my name is Ramon Garcia. I represent the Equity Trade Certification and Network. We're a federal certification mark that identifies businesses that are 50% or more ownership, somebody who's been through a city, county, or state social equity program. I also helped create language for the first social equity program in Oakland, in San Francisco, and on the state level we advocated for, made sure that people who were impacted by the war on drugs were represented and given first opportunity at licensing, and understanding that those systemic policies created damage, us creating policies that would like undo that damage and like give opportunity back for kind of the impacts that people lost in the war on drugs.
You said you did the first social equity program. You had the first license? Or?
Well, we helped create the social equity program in Oakland, California, and that was the first social equity program in the nation. And then taking whatever we learned from that and helping San Francisco do the same, and San Jose and LA, and like being able to help those groups, those local organizing groups in all the different localities, kind of learn from our successes, learn from mistakes. Like, how do we make this social equity program more impactful? And like initially we asked for a lot of technical assistance and other resources, because you're giving people impacted by the war on drugs, maybe they didn't graduate from college or even high school, people that were arrested for this plan, and now you're entrusting them to start a business without the actual support services that they needed to do that. So we collectively came together and try to figure out how can we utilize each other's resources to help each other and like advance small businesses and people of color in this industry.
So what attracted you coming from Oakland and Berkeley? By the way, I grew up there. What are you doing in San Diego?
Queen Mary, one of our brands, has participated in the Farmers Cup. She said that there was like a really welcoming environment here, that people wanted to connect to legacy and equity brands, and like it is really the ability to directly connect with consumers that might not walk in the dispensary or might not know. Like, we don't always get that direct connection to the community, so us being able to directly like share our stories and our products and our vision with the consumers directly is always great. For us, it's from the Bay Area. This is one of the hardest places to get to, right down here, and so we wanted to do it collectively in a way that we can really embrace the culture and also like share with San Diego kind of all of our social equity brands and our legacy farms.
So, obviously we know where the industry came from a lot of the social equity groups. Many of them, as you know, are still incarcerated, but they laid the groundwork for the large groups to come in. I mean, you got people like Tyson, you got all these people with big businesses running, How about the plant? How about what they had to do to grow this plant inside the basements and all that, right? But now we got Humboldt County, we got people that have been growing in Jamaica, we got people growing, in Pakistan, the land races. But this industry has moved from quality being indoor growing.
Right.
What's your thoughts about that in social equity growers?
Well, I'm a second generation cultivator. My family farm is called Sanctuary Farms. My dad grew this. I was taught about this plant as medicine first. It wasn't like, luckily I wasn't propagandized with the prohibition of this plant being a bad thing or a gateway entry. For us, it was a very native and cultural perspective going back thousands of years that we've been using this plant as medicine, and used in that way, it can only help us. So, like I've been telling people, like I've been growing weed since the early 80s, right? I was 6 years old doing it out in the garden, sleeping out there so the deer don't eat the plant. Yeah. We've been growing this plant for like generations, right? California has been influencing and growing this plant for over 100 years, and 80% of the illicit cannabis going across the nation has come from California. We are the culture behind this, right? I've been selling our outdoor, sun-grown, in the soil as indoor weed since before there was really this blush of indoor weed. The difference, people have to understand the plant, right? And when you understand the plant on a legacy level, like they had to codify it, whether it's THC, they had to have some level to like judge it because they don't understand the plant. You're not getting high by THC, you're getting high off the interaction of the cannabinoids and the terpenes. Well, this plant takes terpenes from its surrounding environment. Just as an example, we can grow our same strain in Nevada County and grow that same mother in Mendocino and it come out completely different because it's picking up different terpenes from the environment. Second thing is we feed the soil, right? We do compost teas, living soil. We feed the soil, and the plant takes what it wants from the soil. When you're in a hermetic, closed-off environment, you are force-feeding that plant. And it's gonna come out the way you determine it to be, not like the most genuine reflection of that plant, because it was made to grow in the earth under the sun. And so when you listen to that plant, you get the best expression. So our plant, our strains are testing 28 to 32%. Big difference is ours are having like 15 to 18 detectable terpenes, like 3.5 to 5.5% terpene content. Why does that matter? That matters because the experience you get, whether it's they're energizing or sleepy, or it is the interactions of the terpenes and the cannabinoids, and the more of those you have, the more response your body gets.
One of the things that we've noticed happen in going to other shows is that they're following the big ag and doing what big ag does. And we know exactly where our food is right now and the quality, right, because you have to go to the store and buy supplements. Right. It used to come out of the food. Food was medicine. But cannabis, because they saw what big ag was doing, went over there. And so that's why you've got these big old buildings. But we also have a wake-up call, right? The wake-up call is 80% of the cannabis in California that's legal is grown indoors, right? And we also have issues of climate change. We have issues up in Humboldt. We had fires. They had mold issues. They had fog. They have the neighbors doing things to their own soil. You got Monsanto, right? So what we used to be able to do in the backwoods is a little tougher to do, right? This is Sundarajan Mutialu, aka Sun, of Xcorps TV, and this is our Best Behavior series. We're speaking today with Ramon Garcia.
Thank you, and I appreciate. I'm Ramon Garcia with the Equity Trade Network. Check us out at www.equitytradenetwork.org. Thank you, son. Appreciate you.
Stay tuned.
As a young girl, I just grew to love using power tools, pouring concrete, and doing things that were scary and loud, and yet I looked around and realized no other girls are doing these things. As I grew up, I realized that girls need to see themselves in this space. Start here. So that's what I set out to do, and I became an educator and a mentor for young girls. No masks down till clear. Making teaches girls how to think of their ideas as important. Go light. It changes the way they think about what they're capable of. If I can fuse metal, what can't I do? Perfect. Look at how good that was. And so I think making for girls is about voice, and that's what's really exciting because we're building the world we want to see for ourselves. Now I want to hear why you make.
Share your own Why I Make story today. Visit whyimake.org.